They thought her wedding would hide everything, but it exposed them more brutally than any courtroom could. The moment she lifted her veil, the truth unraveled, and by the end of that night, our entire family was standing on opposite sides of the law. My name is Logan Hayes, and this is the story of how my sister's wedding, yes, the happiest day of her life, became the day our family's darkest betrayal exploded in front of hundreds of guests. But to understand the chaos, you need to know who my sister is. Her name is Ava Hayes, soft-spoken, kind to a fault, the type of woman who apologizes even when someone bumps into her. She works as a pediatric nurse, always putting others before herself. So when she got sick last year, really sick, our family was terrified. A rare autoimmune condition, the type that steals energy, appetite, and hope. Her medical bills? Huge, overwhelming, crippling. But Mom and Dad told everyone, don't worry. We're taking care of the medical fund. Every cent is safe. Ava trusted them. I trusted them. We shouldn't have. Not even close. Because months later, at her own wedding, the truth spilled out like blood on white satin, and none of us were ever the same again. When Ava first got sick, the doctors gave us a long-term treatment plan. Expensive, yes, but possible if the medical fund Mom and Dad collected was spent properly. Neighbors donated. Ava's colleagues donated. Her fiancé's family donated. Even strangers helped. Everyone believed the money was going toward her recovery. But something was off. I noticed it the first time she said, Logan, the pharmacy says my payment didn't go through. Strange, because I personally saw envelopes stuffed with donations. Thousands of dollars. Maybe it's a billing error, I said. I wanted to believe that. I really did. But when it kept happening, treatment delayed, medication denied, appointments cancelled due to unpaid balances, I felt a chill, a cold creeping chill I couldn't shake. But Ava wouldn't ask questions. She trusted Mom and Dad blindly. They're doing their best, she said softly. But I wasn't so sure. Not anymore. Despite her health, Ava's wedding day was set. The venue was booked. The decorations paid for. The catering fully arranged. Everything looked expensive. Too expensive. Lavish centerpieces. Imported flowers. Gold-trimmed invitations. Custom drapery. All paid for by Mom and Dad. We want her wedding to be magical, they said. It's our gift. But something gnawed at me. Where was this money coming from? Dad's business wasn't doing great. Mom had been between jobs for months. Loans, maybe. Savings, possibly. Or was it the medical fund? No, they wouldn't. They couldn't. Right? The truth punched me in the stomach. I was helping set up the reception hall when I overheard something. Something I wish I hadn't. Mom was on the phone. Her voice was low but sharp, like she was hiding a knife in her throat. No, I told you, she snapped. We used that money already. The wedding needed it. What was I supposed to do? We'll figure out the hospital stuff later, after the honeymoon drama fades. My blood ran cold. Used what money? I moved closer, quietly. Mom continued. Ava doesn't need all those treatments. She looks fine to me. The wedding was more important. My heart dropped. My worst fear. Confirmed. They used Ava's medical fund to pay for the wedding. Every dollar donated. Every contribution. Every act of kindness. Gone. Spent on decorations. Spent on the venue. Spent on impressions. Spent on vanity. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. I felt the world tilt sideways. They didn't just betray Ava. They gambled with her life. The wedding was beautiful, like a movie scene. Soft golden light, music drifting, guests smiling. But under that beauty, a storm waited. A storm named Truth. Ava looked breathtaking. Not because of the dress, but because she looked happy. Genuinely, painfully happy. And I didn't know what to do. Tell her now? Ruin her day? Or wait? Let her enjoy her moment? My stomach twisted. I stayed silent until the moment of the toast. That's when everything shattered. Dad took the microphone first. He smiled proudly. Today we celebrate love, dedication, and sacrifice. Your mother and I have done everything to give Ava the wedding she deserves. Guests clapped. Dad continued. We managed all expenses ourselves, even when things were difficult. A lie. A bold, disgusting lie. I clenched my jaw. But then, he said one sentence too many, and we're grateful the community trusted us with Ava's medical fund. We kept every penny safe. Safe? Safe? My vision blurred. I snapped. I stood up, and in front of everyone, every family member, every friend, every guest, I said loudly, Safe? Is that what you call draining it for this wedding? The microphone slipped from Dad's hand. The hall went silent. Ava turned to me slowly. Logan, what are you talking about? My chest ached, but I had no choice now. They spent your medical fund, I said. Every cent, the money people gave to help you survive. They used it for this wedding. Gasps, whispers, shock spreading like wildfire. Dad stepped forward. That's not true. I pulled out the receipts I'd found in Mom's car. Thousands spent on wedding vendors. Same exact dates the hospital notified Ava of non-payment. I handed them to Ava. Her hands trembled. Her lips quivered. Her eyes filled with tears. That money was supposed to save my life, she whispered. Mom panicked. We did this for you, for your happiness. Ava looked at her with soul-breaking pain. What good is a wedding if I might not survive the next year? Her fiancé turned white. His parents muttered angrily. The wedding joy collapsed into chaos. People shouting, guests filming, murmurs everywhere. And then Ava fainted. Right there, right in front of me, right on her wedding day. Because the stress was too much. Because her condition had worsened. Because she didn't get the treatment she needed. All because of them. The hospital. We rushed her to the ER. Doctors said her condition had progressed, faster than expected. She needed immediate treatment, but when they checked her insurance and billing records, the nurse looked confused. Her account shows months of unpaid balances, she said. We were told the family declined further treatment. Declined? Declined? I felt something inside me crack. This wasn't just betrayal. It was cruelty. Calculated, cold, unforgivable. When Ava woke up, she didn't cry. She just stared at the ceiling and said, Logan, I want justice. Her voice broke. And I want my life back. So we fought. We hired an attorney. Attorney Bennett, a calm woman with steel in her eyes. After reviewing everything, she said, this isn't just misuse of funds. This is fraud, medical negligence, and emotional abuse. We filed charges the next morning. Mom and Dad denied everything. They screamed. They threatened. They begged. But evidence doesn't beg. Evidence speaks. Every receipt, every transaction, every hospital notice, every donation record, all pointed to one truth. They chose a wedding over their daughter's life. The trial lasted weeks. Mom cried dramatically. Dad pretended to be confused. They said they mismanaged funds accidentally. But the judge wasn't buying it. Not when the donation sheet matched the wedding bills. Not when Ava's doctor testified that her condition worsened due to treatment delays. Not when messages surfaced showing Mom saying, she doesn't need all those treatments. Those words sealed their fate. The judge delivered the verdict. This court finds both defendants guilty of medical fund misappropriation, fraud and negligence. Restitution and penalties will follow. Ava squeezed my hand. Not in victory, but in relief. A quiet, exhausted relief. Mom and Dad tried to apologize, but Ava walked right past them. She chose peace over pain. She chose healing over toxicity. And slowly, she recovered. Proper treatments. Proper care. Proper support. Her husband stood by her. I stood by her. Her new in-laws stood by her. Our real family was the one we built, not the one that broke us. Months later, Ava and I visited the courthouse again. Not for a trial, but to finalize the legal protection order against our parents. As we walked out, she said, you know what hurts the most? Not the money. Not the lies. Not even the illness. What then? I asked. That they chose a single wedding day over the rest of my life. I didn't know what to say, so I just held her hand, and she whispered, but they forgot one thing. A broken daughter can still rise. A betrayed sister can still fight, and a family built on lies will eventually collapse on its own. She looked at the sky and smiled softly. My wedding exposed the truth, and the truth saved my life. And that's how a day meant for love became the day we reclaimed our freedom.